Hey there, everyone. Welcome to episode 304 of the Building in Public series. Today is our Wednesday update. And yeah, we've got a pretty weird Wednesday today. We had like a plan of attack where we were going to try and get things done in like a certain order. So, give us some context. We were doing some sort of admin work this morning for a client. We were setting things like emails up. We were going to set up like a Zapier automation to automate a lot of stuff. And essentially what it was going to do, the long and short of it was it was going to look at a spreadsheet, and if a certain element of that spreadsheet was updated, then it would update things like the stock quantity, the name of the product, that sort of stuff. And yeah, it turns out we didn't actually manage to get that sorted. We spent probably about 4 hours collectively on it. Didn't really get it anywhere. So we're going to try and have a look at that tomorrow or possibly over the weekend because I don't want to spend too much time on it because I want to try and progress on other things. But yeah, we're going to try and get down to the bottom of that and figure that out because it's a bit of an odd one, but I think we're gonna get there before long, I think. And yeah, honestly, other than that, we haven't really recorded much. So what I thought I'd do is showcase what we got up to last night, and basically just show you progress on the Peaky Blind's website as well. And then, yeah, while we're doing that, have a discussion with you about some SEO stuff as well, because I know we mentioned that yesterday. Yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So yeah, pretty much what we've got here is a nice, simple Zapier sort of automation. So basically, it's a Google Sheets integration with Shopify, and basically what the process is if a part of the spreadsheet is updated, so in this case it should be the quantity element of the spreadsheet, then I want Shopify to update the quantity. Now, I thought it would be pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but after hours of doing it, I think I've kind of realized the problem is that inside of Shopify, it handles product names with something called a handle. And basically, what you've got to do is you've got to specify the handle for each product variant. Now, each product variant doesn't have a unique handle name, which means I've got to go through every product individually. I think there's like 400 odd products and set individual handles for each one. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna get that done after I've spent about 4 hours on it. So my plan of attack is over the weekend probably. I'm gonna implement that, get that sorted, do some more testing, and probably showcase that to you guys. But yeah, honestly, other than that, not much else has really happened. And then essentially we move on to then what I was getting up to yesterday, which was the Peaky Blind's website. Now, this one's pretty interesting because we're just basically carrying on from what we've done a few days ago, and we're just trying to build out what we had with the um, quote form on the website. So I don't know if you remember, but we made the instant quote form there, and we haven't added the rest of the stuff. So like fabric swatches and stuff like that. And yeah, basically what you're seeing here is us essentially go through the points with ChatGPT and explaining basically this is what we want to build, help us build it, that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's a pretty interesting process because we start with a very basic instant quote tool that doesn't do much, and then we actually end up with a start of the rest of the template, which is the swatches, which is the instant quote tool, and basically what we're going to be doing over the next few days is connecting them both and then making sure they work in sync with each other. So if I go back now a second, you might see it in here if I paste it in. So if I go, where are we? There we go. So if you, oh my god, it was a bit too quick. So if you remember, we had this, which was our instant quote thing, which is good because we set that up. But the problem is that we need to add more depth to it, and that's what we're doing here. Is we're taking parts of the site, so we're taking like the roller blinds part, like this. We're adding in the product name, we're adding in a description to it, just to add to it and make it feel better, pretty much. Obviously, there's a lot of work we still got to do with it. We're gonna implement a lot more stuff with it. And then basically what we do is we log into another website that has the swatch element set up. And then we just take that element. So we take the plugin that we use for swatches and then we implement that onto the site. So yeah, pretty cool process overall. You know, we're getting through this bit slowly because it's pretty much the scenario. Once we nail the single product layout, the rest of it is just adding, all of the attributes, adding all the colors, and then basically pricing things up. And then we have a system then, and then pretty much that's the fun part then. It's just designing the rest of the site to match that. And yeah, honestly, other than that, we didn't really get up to much else in regards to work. And what I wanted to talk about as well while this is playing in the background, I wanted to talk about the SEO update that we had yesterday. So I don't know if you guys remember, I mentioned that we noticed a lot of ranking fluctuations, but it turns out there's a lot more ranking fluctuations happening because we dropped all the way from position 4 all the way back up again today to position 1. So I don't know what Google's playing at there. It's a bit of an odd one, but yeah, I'll see if I can have more updates on that soon. But yeah, pretty odd one with the SEO stuff. Anyway, while I'm waffling, let's carry on and get into this issue. So basically, you're seeing here what we're doing is we're troubleshooting a lot of the code. So in this scenario, what we've got pretty much is we've got a short code, which is the swatches, and we've got a HTML snippet, which is the instant quote form. And basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to sync them up. So if you select like classic white, that would then, so basically the problem here, I don't know if you can see it, is if you select classic white, what should happen is it should edit the fabric on the right-hand side over here, so over here, but it doesn't do that. And that's kind of where we honestly left yesterday and today. Like I said, it's been a pretty manic day. I mean, the fact that we're getting this episode out later than usual just kind of goes to show we've been a bit mental today. And yeah, honestly, guys, not much else like that than that has happened. Pretty mental day, and hopefully tomorrow is going to be a bit quieter, but we'll see. And yeah, guys, that's everything today for episode 304. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode. Cheers. Bye for now.